Hello and welcome to another update about the Dow Jones. So DJI is the ticker. That's the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index, one of the major market indexes. And we want to take a look at the updated wave count, or is there actually an update? I don't think anything has changed compared to the last update. We are, however, obviously it's important to understand whether we are still holding support and where the journey could be going. I mean, the thesis here is still that we could get one more high. At least that's still an option on the table. That's my personal preference. I haven't seen major confirmation that a substantial top has formed, even though really a substantial top could have formed given that we have a very, very full move to the upside, a fifth wave up, in a larger degree, third wave. By the way, that fifth wave started in 2020, could be completed. Now, that being said, I think it would actually look best with one more high as an ending diagonal pattern from the 2020 low. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, like a typical wedge pattern ending diagonal. Bit sloppy, but a potential pathway, at least as long as support holds, because standard support for a fourth wave, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, standard support for a fourth wave is between the 61.8 retracement and 38.2 retracement, so we reached that. I have removed the 38.2 retracement because I want to create space for this micro support area. So yeah, watching for one more high. If that happens, then the move up would be an ABC structure. That's what I'm tracking on the NASDAQ as well. That's what I'm tracking on the SPX as well. And there is, though, the potential for a bearish count as well, but that would require further evidence. It would be at this point in time only the alternative. My view is that the move down from the November high is a three-wave move down. So without having five waves down, without a five-wave move down and without a break of support, I am tracking this as a corrective pullback in an overall uptrend, which means there could still be one more high. However, that still means that we are very, very close to a major top. I mean, that's my idea, right? That we are very, very close to a major top, and you need to be aware of the risk that this market, carries. Okay, we are really, really close to a substantial major bull market top. That's my interpretation. However, without any confirmation that a major bear market has started. So therefore, still watching for higher. Let's zoom in. Let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame. And here, the market reached micro support. So what's the idea here? Well, looking at the micro level, I'm tracking two pathways. But both are in the short term very much aligned. How can that be? There's a bullish count as shown in yellow. And there is a bearish count as shown in white. But even in the white scenario, which I'm tracking as an ABC structure, the market could go a bit higher in the short term. Let me move that over, and I want to just make that a bit clearer. So let me remove the upper sections. I just want to show what support is. Price held above it, the 78.6 retracement. And I want to move everything over here a little bit. So the idea is, and that's very much in line with my idea about the S&P and the NASDAQ, that I'm also tracking regularly in our stocks membership, together, by the way, with the Dow Jones, which is now included, at least in the chart section, as well as the Hang Seng, the DAX, gold, silver. If you're interested, check it out. It's linked in the video description. But the idea is that we had, from this April low, a reaction, but it's only a three-wave move up. So idea would be this could be an A wave. Then we had a B wave, like a move down into standard support for a B wave. Important is always that the market does not break and sustain below the 78.6 retracement. And hey, that level is holding, right? So that's good. So the focus could still be on higher prices. And we might be moving up in a C wave now. That could be wave C of B in the white scenario, which again is the bearish one. But it's important to understand where that C wave of wave B could land. So let's measure the length of the A wave. Then we go to the low of the B wave. And it would normally be this blue box. So it starts at the 100% extension. Red is standard resistance. This is really just standard resistance, some levels to watch. B waves tend to break above these areas. But the blue zone is based on the internal structure, so a bit more reliable. And at 42,191, we have the 100% extension, and at around 43,140 to 43,290, we have some Fibonacci confluence, which means there are a couple of levels that actually nearly overlap. Yeah, a bit of a small cluster of targets or Fibonacci levels. So those are key levels to watch, key targets, yeah, key resistances. So it could be an ABC structure to the upside in white wave B or yellow wave A. That takes us to the bullish count, because in the bullish count, it might also just be a three-wave move that's moving here, but the next move down in the yellow count should be a correction. So that means once we have this move up completed, I think we need to pay attention to Fibonacci support for yellow wave B, which I cannot yet add to the chart. It's too early for that. I will do that once we have a top. And then if the market breaks below it, and if the move down is in 5 waves, it's likely the white count. However, as long as pullbacks remain corrective, which is at the moment at least what I am watching, the focus could, so yeah, as long as pullbacks are corrective, I'm watching for higher, okay? So these are the differences. In the short term, that means they are both aligned. They could both move higher in the very short term. And then we just have to pay very close attention. We have to pay very close attention to the structure of the next pullback. Now, I can give you, let's just play around a bit. Let's just say, what would happen if we get there to the 100% extension? And Fibonacci support, let's assume we get there, then standard support would be between 37,740 and 39,977. But I'll remove it again because we haven't even got a top in place. But that is currently what I am tracking on the Dow Jones chart. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Yeah, and if you're interested in additional updates, make sure that you check out the stocks service, where we also cover PayPal, Tesla, and many more. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.